or get divorced say they do worse at school as a result. Almost two-thirds of 14 to 22-year-olds who were asked for a new survey said they thought their exam results had suffered, with some of them saying they'd turned to alcohol or drugs to help them cope too. Molly Baker is 15 years old, is preparing to do her GCSEs next summer. Her parents separated when she was just 7, and she says it has always affected her.
Because it was quite a close community, it was a really small school, so everyone sort of knew everyone's business. So a couple of teachers would take me out of the lessons, like, ask how I was, that sort of thing. But for me, I'd have much rather them have done it at break or lunch, because then I was missing lesson time. I live between both houses during the week. One environment can be quite disruptive, so it's deciding whether or not I'm going to be able to revise there, whether I'm going to be going there, because it could potentially affect the grades I get.
Well, Nigel Shepherd is Vice Chairman of the campaigning family law organisation Resolution, which carried out this research, also a partner in the law firm Mills and Reeve. Morning, Nigel.
Morning.
Were you surprised by this? Two-thirds of children saying they thought breakup had an impact on exam results.
I don't think we're surprised, but what we would say is that it highlights the need for parents, wherever possible, to work together to try and minimise the impact on children, the impact on their education and their health. So, surprise, no, but there is a better way to deal with these things.
And when you say the impact on their health, is this simply the sort of emotional trauma of a breakup, but is it also dealing with the kind of physical challenges, living potentially in two different homes?
Yes, I mean, people move between homes, obviously. This is a very difficult time for children. It's inevitable that family breakup impacts upon children. But the really important thing is to find a way to, as I say, minimise that impact and work together to try to avoid court, to think about other options like mediation and collaborative law. And Resolution members are working every day to try to help families find that better approach.
So it is possible to separate and have a minimal impact on the children, for your children to emerge from that process perfectly fine.
I think it's always going to be difficult. As I say, it's a matter of minimising that impact. There's always going to be issues for children. It's absolutely inevitable. But what really we find is that the higher the conflict, the more the devastating impact on the children is. So it really is a matter of trying to reduce that pain for them.
Yeah. And even when, as in Molly's case, her parents had separated when she was 7, all those years later, it's still affecting how she performs at school.
Yes, I mean, the survey that Resolution did was a group of people between the ages of 14 and 22 and their experiences. So, but parents can work together. And just last night, I was talking to a guy that I play football with every week. And I was saying that I was coming on here, and he said about 6 or 7 years ago, he and his partner split up. They had a choice to make. Their son was going through GCSEs at the time. And what they decided to do was to hold back on actually physically separating and putting that into motion until the exams are over. They did that jointly together. They said their son knew that something was going on, but he didn't actually have to face that at the time he was doing his exams, and that made an enormous difference looking back on it now, they say.
Yeah, of course there will be people who say far more damaging to the children to stay in a household where there's terrible tension and acrimony between warring parents.
Yeah, I mean, people have to do these things in different ways. It's not always possible to do it the perfect way, but I think when people are helped to see that there is an alternative, most of them will say, actually, do you know, we think our children are the most important thing here. It's easy to lose sight of that when you're in an emotional maelstrom, but we can help people, and Resolution members are doing that up and down the country every day.
Thank you very much, Nigel.
Thank you, Rachel.
In.